It's the only way. And I was thinking about this because I've been failing a lot recently. Well, yeah, I've failed many, many, many times over the years, and specifically with YouTube videos. I mean, when I was like 7 years ago, when I was 18, I always thought I wanted to do YouTube and like maybe full time. And I've done so many things wrong. I've started so many different channels. I've switched up the channels. I've done, so much. I had this channel that was getting like a few 100,000 views a month, and then now I'm at like maybe 20,000 views a month. Went from making a few $100s a month on this one to like not much at all. But like you can look at it and think, okay, this was a waste of time. I'm kind of back at zero again. But I'm actually so glad that I made all those mistakes, because now I really understand how it works. And I'll be learning more and more, of course, how the algorithm works. But I've done all the mistakes. I've switched up the channels. I've changed the content. I've done it all. And I see how the algorithm responds to all these different things. To where now I really know what to do. So I'm glad I made all those mistakes. And I bring this up. It's super important to fail, because when you use something the wrong way, you know more about it. So if you think about like a baby, when a baby when they're fresh into the world, they grab everything and they like put it in their mouth. Now that's a fail. Like most things they put in their mouth, you don't put in your mouth. It's just not what you're supposed to do. But they're just playing with it. They're just figuring it out. They're trying new things. And by doing that, they learn. They learn every way not to use it. They learn every way to use it. And I heard Elon Musk say one time, like when he's interviewing somebody or when he's talking to engineers, he said it's really easy to know when somebody discovered something on their own or if they're just copying somebody else's work. He says, because if you figure this out on your own, you don't just know the right way to do it, you know every wrong way to do it. You know 1,000 wrong ways to do it. So you really understand this thing. And that's why it's important to just fail and not be afraid of that. So you know every wrong way to do it. And you don't make those mistakes because, somebody might tell you, oh, this is the right way. And you just listen to it and you do it. And then maybe you try to deviate a little bit from that and you fail and you really don't know why. So you just go back to doing it the way you're told. And you'll be good, but you'll never be great. In order to be great, you have to fail just a ton. So, that's it's supposed to be kind of an encouragement. I was at Starbucks right now and the internet just wasn't good enough for what I was trying to do. I'm trying to build a website right now because I was working with a company and they're just taking way too long, so I figured I'd just do it myself. But making music, I failed too, so much. But and volleyball, the volleyball is the big thing. I get a lot of this from is most of the guys that aren't doing really well is because they're afraid to fail. So you can let's say you're playing defense and somebody hits a ball, like a high line or something, and you run it down. You could just, once you recognize, oh, I can't get this, you could just give up. Or you can dive for it knowing that you're probably not going to get it. Are you willing to look like an idiot diving for something and not getting it, maybe hurting yourself a little bit. Those are the people that succeed. The people that like throw themselves out there, literally in volleyball, throwing yourself out there, with just a hope to just reach a little bit more greatness. And I think that's like that's what sets people apart. Now you can look at me and I'm posting all these different videos and getting less views, and sometimes it's just bad, or you release music and it's just like sounds bad. Or a big one is singing. I still struggle with this, like singing with everything you got, just letting it out. It's like, okay, well, yeah, you're more vulnerable when you do that, but you're never going to be great if you don't do that. Like, the only way for you to even be good at singing is to just like go for it. That's what people like. And the crazy part is that people prefer that over skill. When people are watching, let's say you play volleyball or listening to you sing, they prefer watching and listening to the people who are just like going all out. And I know some, like myself too, like the guys that just go for it, I like those guys, even though they might not be the best, but I respect that more. It's more fun to watch. But it's such a lie from the devil and that we tell ourselves. We try to hide from letting it out. Fear that maybe people won't like it, people will judge us, and I think people will. There will be when you just fully go for it, fully express yourself. Yeah, people will judge you more than if you don't do anything. But nobody will ever actually like you. Nobody will ever look up to you unless you go for it. Unless you're willing to fail, willing to look like an idiot. I think people just respect that because they know it's not easy. And people like to watch people who do that because they live vicariously through that. And like for some things it just comes a little bit more naturally. Like for volleyball, it's just easier for me to look like an idiot. I don't know why, I just don't really care as much. But something like singing, I don't know why that it's a little bit more difficult. But it's really the same thing. Like when you give it everything you got, you're showing that you want it. And maybe it's that want, that like desire that people are afraid of showing. Like I want something, that I need something. People like to pretend like they have everything they need and everything's going well. And celebrating is one too. I mean, because we've all seen those people that celebrate a little too much. But I think that's better than never celebrating at all. So I'm saying this as a reminder to you and myself to just like keep failing. Just keep trying it, keep trying new ways. As I've been doing with YouTube, I've been learning a ton. Way more than if I never did it, or if I try to like be too careful and not mess anything up. That's another thing, like you can't like be afraid of messing things up. That's something with making music, is you get to a point in a song where like this sounds pretty good. It's not finished though, but I don't want to mess it up. Because if I add more, like, I can mess it up. And maybe that's part of the fear of, and reason why I don't finish some songs. But you can't be afraid to do that. Like, you're gonna screw things up, and that's how you learn for the next time. And I've been practicing, I've been trying to trained myself to, I guess, enjoy more of the process than the successes. Because I've seen it in volleyball. Like, when you win a tournament, yeah, it's cool, but it's really not that great, and it lasts like 5 minutes. That excitement lasts 5 minutes. It's really not even worth training as hard as we do. It's the grind. It's like the everyday thing. Like, just that's what you need to enjoy. And that's what really makes it worth it. Like all the fails, all the failures. That makes the win worth it. Because if you were asked, hey, with no training, nothing, would you want to just like have your name on the pier like you won Manhattan Beach AVP? Would you want that? To just all of a sudden tomorrow say, oh yeah, I'm best player in the country. That's lame. Or look at John Sutton. He played with Phil Dahlhauser. He didn't earn that. I mean, he paid for it, so maybe he earned it in a different way, but it's like, volleyball aspect, like, how fulfilling is that? You make a main draw because somebody else has a lot of points and you paid them to let you in. It's like, okay, that's not fulfilling at all. You didn't put the work in. You didn't overcome anything. You didn't learn anything. You were just elevated, exalted, prematurely. And I do think the Lord works in a different way. He works in the right way. Everybody wants everything quick, immediate success. And the Lord is more concerned with your character, with building you up. And that takes time when you do it the right way. It takes time. And it's a slow process, because if you grow too fast, you become proud. I mean, I've thought that many times, of like, Lord, why is it taking so long for me to have success? Like, why do I keep failing? I mean, you see guys, even in the AVP, they get a partner, they shoot up really quick, they're now one of the guys, and then they never do anything great. They just take ninths, they take fifths, never win a tournament. They were given the platform too early and they think they deserve it. They don't know what it's like to work hard. They don't know what it's like to have nothing. And there's this guy that's reminded me of the Instagram School of Hard Knocks. This guy, I forgot what his name is. He goes around, interviews some of the richest people in the world, and he asks them, like, how did you become rich? Like, have you ever been broke? And almost all of them are like, yeah, I've been broke many times. And those were a guy I know who was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and then during the, I guess, 08, 09 market crash, housing crash, whatever, he lost everything. And he said it was the best thing that ever happened to him. Even though he had to, he lost his house, cars, everything. He said it was the best thing that ever happened to him. Because then he had to grind, and he got to start over and really now do what he loves, which is sell cars. Buys and sells exotic old cars and stuff. So if you're at the bottom, it's important. You'll put in all that work. You'll grind, you'll fail. You'll see no results, no fruit for a while, and then, I mean, how it works in business, or a lot of things, is all of a sudden you get that opportunity and you're ready for it. And then you shoot up pretty quick. But it's because you did all that work. Because you can handle it. That's another thing. The Lord won't... Well, sometimes He gives you something you can't handle to humble you, but He usually doesn't want you to have something that you can't handle. He's a good father and he gives good gifts. He wants to bless his children. But he's not going to give you something if it's going to kill you. Right? You might want that nice, shiny sword. But he's like, you don't even know how to handle it. I don't want you to hurt yourself. I don't want you to get too proud, too puffed up, and then abandon the Lord, walk away from the faith. And then you're really in a disaster. So it's not the thing that you want that's the issue. It's what it's going to do to you. It'd be better sometimes if you don't have success. It's better if you fail. When I lose some matches, I'm like, he's obviously at first a little upset, but I think, well, thank you, Lord. Now I know the standard. Now I know where I need to be. I've been a little too relaxed in my training. I'm going to train harder now. I got blocked a bunch by Phil one tournament. I'm like, okay, well, now I know that doesn't work. Don't do that again. Yeah, shooting those high lines. When you're slowing down, dropping your arm, yeah, he's going to see that. That doesn't work against him. After a long tournament, your legs are gassed for the last games. Causes you to lose a tournament. And you think, oh, well, I just failed at that. Now I know I need to do more burpees or I need to get stronger. It is kind of unfortunate, though, how we have to fail in order to learn a lot of the time. If we just maybe learn from other people's failures. Like, I think the Bible says something about that. Or maybe it's just a random proverb. It's like, the wise guy learns from other people's failures. Not just his own. All right. I gotta go. See ya.